for my nigga Jay. Been locked for 20 plus. Talked to his sister last week, talked to him last month. And what's so fucked up, George Zimmer's still free. And Trayvon is gone. Somebody explain this shit to me. Jay been in Moses' life. Yeah, he broke up in their home and tied him up and stabbed him, but they still alive. That nigga was 15. Man, this system ain't right. That's why I make blues out for the folks that's in between. Not too young, but still out here doing our thing. We're way too old to be fucking and jumping. Beat on flicks, lyrics hitting on nothing. I'm from LA and I ain't talking Compton. I'm talking Lower Alabama.
Man, alright. Well, this been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming, brother, man.
So,
Glad to see you, man.
1995. Do you remember the exact day?
Absolutely. 1995, March of 95. It was actually March the 18th of 1995 when my life changed.
A 40-year-old Clear Lake woman and her 17-year-old daughter were stabbed by a lone robber who broke into their condominium as the two slept early Tuesday, said police. Hannah Goodner and her daughter Yuva Vakowska were recovering at Bentop Hospital Tuesday. Neither sustained life-threatening wounds, officials said. Police said the assailant, who was armed with a knife, may have entered the home in the 2200 block of Broad Lawn through an unlocked door just before 7 a.m. The women were forced into their car and made to drive to a nearby ATM machine where Goodner was ordered to use her bank card to withdraw $400. The trio then drove back to the house. Police said it appeared the man planned to steal the family's car after loading it with their household goods. The two women were placed in separate rooms, and the suspect tied up the younger woman first, then went back to check on Goodner. When he caught Goodner using the phone to call 911, he stabbed the woman in the chest, then stabbed her daughter in the back before fleeing. A construction worker saw the assailant. The man remained at large Tuesday night. The assailant was described as a black male in his late teens to early 20s, 6 foot, 135 to 140 pounds, wearing a dark blue sweatshirt, blue jeans, and white tennis shoes.
Forever.
So, it's 1995, it's March. If people don't know, we robbing people. That's what we doing. We breaking into houses, cars, anything around Clear Lake. That's just what we did. We was kids, but we was doing some real strong criminal activity. That was just our lifestyle, our culture at that time. It was the 90s. It was kind of what everybody was doing, but I always felt like yours was different. I knew Wanda, I knew Nikki, I knew your family, I knew Spunky, I knew your whole family, so I knew the reason behind why you did what you did. Like you knew my reasoning. Like, it's just me and my mama. If I don't make the money, I ain't gonna have the money. Same thing with you. If you don't pay the bills, if you don't come up with the rent might not get paid. So we robbing with a reason. We're not just out there wilding like some old suburban teenagers. We out there robbing to pay bills and do things that, that need to be done. What do you remember leading up to it?
Well, one thing that I want to do is say this first. I want to set this back. I always like to get to the root of a situation. And I don't look at you and I, we were some bad kids. I just believe that you and I, we lost our vision, for different reasons, or maybe the same reason. I believe that growing up in poverty, a lot of things were limited for us. So we didn't know how to grow. We didn't have things that was available for us that we could see, visionaries to see that we can use it as an expense with educating ourselves, with being citizens.
Yeah.
With being noble young men.
Yeah.
We wasn't bad kids. We was desperate kids. And I say that because we grew up male figures, but not a father figure. We grew up with great women. Yeah. And women did everything that they could for us. My mother, she raised 4 kids up on her own. Your mother, she raised 4 boys. And y'all was never without. She was without. She sacrificed for you. Yeah. My mother sacrificed for me as well.
Yeah.
So, our women, she felt that her disposition was more important than her position. So by us being young teenagers, we didn't have that male figure to show us the right way. So we, having our eyes and ears open, we was exposed. I was exposed just as well as you are. We was exposed to the community, the environment, the streets.
Culture.
And one thing that we knew, that exactly, the culture. And one thing you know is that it's one place that's not gonna never turn you down, and that's the streets. And we had to learn. It took me a minute to realize that the streets didn't love me; just loved to take me away from the people that actually do love me.
Man.
But before he even did that, I lost my mother at the age of 12 years old. My mother, she passed away of breast cancer. You know, that was my vision. That was my rock. That was my chain that kept me restrained. So when I lost my mother from breast cancer, I started to shake my head bald, you know, to show the strength, you know what I mean, represent for my mom.
Yeah.
But even that, I didn't know how to deal with that. You know, I didn't know how to deal with it.
That right there, I think is, for you, I think that's the source of your struggle and your pain where it started with your mom. Like,
Absolutely.
knowing that, like, I always just looked at y'all different. Like, you know, like you appreciated my mom so much. I could see every time you saw my mama, like, as soon as you got first thing, man, tell your mama I'm out. You know, you wanted to, because you appreciated my mama so much. And
Absolutely.
I could always feel that with you. It was different than other friends when they talked to my mama. Like, you was, yes, man, whatever she said. Like, she knew I was sneaking y'all in the room. I leave y'all in the room while I'm in school, and y'all in there jamming to music with the headphones on. She knew that.
She even called me you because she thought that I was you now.
All the
She said,
time.
I thought that was you. I said, nah, baby, it's a J.
Yeah, at that time, we could have definitely passed for each other at that age, man. From a distance, she said, I just looked and I saw a bald head and kept going. Didn't even think nothing of it.
Yeah.
But I always saw that, man. So I always knew that was a source. I mean, even for Wanda and Nikki, man, that's always been a source of y'all's pain, man, because you know, I know a few other friends, like, you probably remember, I don't know if you knew Mike and Earl Francis, I knew them.
Absolutely.
All right, their mama passed away when they were younger, and I didn't find that out until they were working for me later on.
Right.
And I feel, it helps you understand who they are. You realize why they have such trouble with women and relationships and stuff, because when that first parent leaves you, man, it leaves you broken regardless of who you are. It breaks you, bro. And I felt like you were trying to be the rock for your sisters at all times.
You're absolutely right about that, man. I was trying to be the rock for it, and I hate that I did the way that I did it because I felt that I was doing the right thing. Me being the youngest out of 4 kids, and I wanted to support my sisters the way that my mother supported all of us. And I was a kid. I was 14, 15 years old. And all I knew, you know what I mean, is to get it from the streets. Because that was the easy access. But that was the easy trap. As I said, the streets gonna embrace you. When nothing else gonna embrace you, the streets gonna give you a hug.
Sure will.
You know what I mean? And the streets gave me a hug and a kiss. You know what I mean?
Man.
So, you know, I took that, and I thought that, you know, from my vision at that moment, I thought that, you know, this is my future. You know, I can live with this because it's easy access.
Yeah.
And I realized it was just a short-term investment to put me in a place where there wasn't gonna be no key. You know what I mean? Unless God say, you know, I still need you here. So, yeah, with my sisters, I hate that I wouldn't allow them to even work. Because I told them that I wanted to be the man in the house as my mother was. Because she was an adult. I was a mom.
Yeah.
So I didn't allow them to get no job. So when I finally did get incarcerated, it left them to not be supportive of me. Because they so used to have to rely on me, that now when they got to fend for themselves, they defenseless.
Yeah.
Now they dealing with low budget people. You know what I mean? People that don't have no respect for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they take advantage of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They lack of drive, so they had to take some falls and some stumbles before they finally figured it out.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
So, 95, March 18th. This is from my side. They say they got Jay down there. Nikki wanted to come to me. They said they got Jay. They said, Rock, you got a driver's license. Go down there, see why they holding Jay. I walk in the station, and immediately everybody stopped moving in that station. When I walked in that station over there in Clear Lake, I walked in, and then they all stopped moving. And I didn't know what was going on at the time. And the guy, he sits me down, he says, "What you here for?" I say, "Y'all holding James Jackson. I want to know why you holding him." He said, "You want to know why we holding James Jackson?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Hold on, sit right here." I sit there, and I'm just like you. I'm starting to feel a little uneasy. Like it's taking a little too time. Like, what are they doing? I see two guys come back. Now I'm really shaking. He comes back. He says, slides his picture over the little drawing they got that's been on the news. He said, "That's you." I say, "What?" He said, "That's you. I'm willing to bet my wife, my house, my career, everything on that's you." I said, "Really? I don't know how your wife look, but I'm pretty sure if your house is around here is nice. I don't know how much you make a year, but I bet it's more than I make right now." I said, "I'm willing to take all that and your wife, because that's not me." I say, "That may look like me." I say, "But I just cut my hair yesterday. When this picture was made, I had Afro puffs out the hill.
I remember.
And Nikki used to do my hair.
I remember.
And I had just cut my hair the day before.
Right.
So I could look at him and honestly say, no, that's not me. So they release you and take me in. I go in for 4 days. And I have to wait till they get out of intensive care to do the lineup.
Right.
My mama's coming too. I'm in McGowan.
McGowan.
I'm in McGowan.
Yeah.
My mama coming to McGowan. She crying. It's all over the news. I'm holding tight because I ain't holding nothing till I talk to you. Because I know what we was talking about before it happened, but I don't know if you actually did it. So I'm just holding. Let me talk to Jay. I'm just keeping quiet.
But they kept us separated.
Never would let us see.
They kept us
I
separated.
didn't see you another time, and all I wanted to do was have that conversation with you. And I wanted to tell you, they have no clue. Because they were banking on me.
Houston police have released an artist's drawing of a man who stabbed a Clear Lake area woman and her daughter Tuesday after forcing them at knife point to go to an automatic teller machine where he made the woman withdraw $400. He then took the pair back to their house. While he was tying up the daughter, 16, the woman tried to call the police. The robber then stabbed the pair and fled. The girl was treated at a hospital and released. The woman, 40, remains hospitalized. The suspect is in his late teens or early 20s, about 6 feet tall and 135 to 140 pounds. He was wearing a dark blue sweatshirt and blue jeans. Anyone with information is asked to call the HPD Robbery Division at 731-5100 or Crime Stoppers at 222-TIPS.
They were banking everything on me. They had no clue.
They couldn't believe that a person that was 15 years old actually did this crime.
That's what the guy told me. Why would I think this young kid do it? He
Yeah.
said, you fit the profile.
Exactly. They said you fit the profile.
You know what say?
You was a little big.
I was a little bigger than you.
You was a little bigger than me. You was cut up.
And a little bit of size. And the girl, she said, I know that's not him. That boy goes to school with me.
Exactly.
She said, look what I had on. You know what I wore? Like a Sean Kemp jersey.
Right.
They took me in with the Sean Kemp jersey on. So I'm standing there. She said, he wears that jersey all the time. I know that boy. And so they let me go. I'm thinking I'm going to get out. I'm going to talk to you. And my thing, I'm going to tell you, just fall back, bro. Lay low. Lay low. Go chill somewhere for a while. Don't just let it die down. But before I can get back to you, they tell me they scoop up Marquise. I said, well, what they get Marquise for? They said, we don't know. I said, well, I'm not going to go check on Marquise. I go check on Shay, but I say, I'm going to let that one roll. They say, that night, they come and get you. Mm-hmm. And I was supposed to make it to you, but my mama wanted to go do something with me. So I went somewhere with my mama. And by the time I got back, they come got Jay. I said, who come got Jay? The police. They come got Jay. I said, they come got him? I said, that don't make sense. What you tell him? I said, man, I ain't telling him nothing. I say, matter of fact, I don't really know nothing. I think what I think I know. I say, but I ain't telling nobody but Jay. Right. I'm not even going to tell y'all. I said, I'm not going to tell y'all because y'all don't need to know. I say, only people going to know this is me and Jay. I say, so where's Marquise? He He said they had Marquise, but Marquise came back, packed his stuff up, and left. I said, where did he go? He ain't got nowhere to go.
Oh, he had somewhere to go.
Exactly. They said, we don't know, but he did it fast. And they said, and he was gone.
Well, the thing is that Marquise, he didn't know where his father lived at. He didn't know his father's situation.
Mm.
But with the authorities' help, man, we can find your father for you.
Mm.
We can find his whereabouts and see if that can be an avenue for you to go and live and stay at.
So they basically put him in witness protection, but with his own family.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want to say he's in Baytown.
Baytown somewhere.
Baytown, if I'm not mistaken. Baytown, then he went to San Antonio. But yeah, man, but you know, they came and arrested me. I was at home washing clothes. I was all alone. They came and busted in the door. What we didn't know was that we had some undercover police officers living right on the side of us in that apartment complex. There was undercover police officers. Yeah.
All the stuff we used to do in the apartments?
Yeah, they were just adding up cases upon us.
Good Jesus, Lord have mercy.
You know? They'd add up cases upon us.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude, we did all type of stuff right there in the apartments.
Right.
Ain't no telling what we just said outside at the bottom of them steps.
Right.
Man,
Exactly.
we was dropping acid and doing all type of crazy stuff. Man, ain't no telling what we was saying.
Yeah.
They were right next door to us the whole
Right next
time.
up to us. I didn't find this out until after the fact, but
Jesus.
after they came and got me, man, to be honest with you, man, it's like my intuition just hit me, man. It was just bothering me, man. I just felt bad about what I did. Even it wasn't so much as being caught. It's just that wasn't who I was. I just knew that wasn't me.
It wasn't our style. It was our
was
style was to rob and never touch the people.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That wasn't me. So you know, they didn't have to do too much of anything. I was willing. Like they didn't know where the weapon was at. They didn't know.
See, when they told me that, my money wouldn't let me believe it. I was like, why would he tell them that?
I felt bad. I felt
like
I felt bad about what I did. I did.
Felt bad because I was in it, and you thought I was gonna. And once I got out, I felt like that would have ceased it. But I knew
I
you
told
felt
my
bad.
sister. I said, man, they got Rock. I said, no, I'm finna tell the truth about everything. They got Rock. He doesn't deserve that.
And they told me that it was like
I wasn't gonna be able to look at your mama again, bro. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have been able to look at your mama again. I was like, nah. Your brother even told me, man, relax. I said, nah.
I told Tara, I said, Tara, I said, you go around there and tell Nick. I said, because I don't want them to even. Yeah. I said, I gotta let it lay low. If they see me go talk to Jay, they might put two and two together. Yeah. I say, Mama want me to go do this. I need you to go tell Nikki, just tell Jay, go lay low. Tell him go to Perryview or something. Go out, out that little spot we went to Perryview. Tell him go out there, just hang out. Yeah. Just, I was like, just get away for a while. Right. I said, it'll die down. Right. I said, because they have no clue. They are confused. They really thought it was me. And now that it's not me, they're lost. Yeah. And then they told me, and I was just like, man. So you go in and what's the first day like, bro?
The first day? Well, they sent me to a juvenile facility.
So you in juvie for what? How long?
I just wanted to sleep. Got up the next morning. You can't stay in the cell. You have to come out. So came out to the day room. I seen my picture all over the news. And these youngsters that was in there with me, they were like, that's you. I was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it, man. I went back, grabbed my little apple and orange and went back to my cell. You know what I mean? I was just trying to speak to my spirit, speak to God, like, man, what's happening? You know what I mean? What do I need?
Did you just feel lost?
I felt more embarrassed more than anything.
Embarrassed you got caught or embarrassed?
No, I was embarrassed because I know I wasn't raised like that. I was embarrassed because I didn't know that you was out. I thought you was still locked up, so I feel like that.
That's what got me. You
like
were in so unison with me getting out.
Yeah, I never seen you get out. I just knew that you was in there. So I was like, I let my friend down, I let my family down, I let myself down. I embarrassed myself, to do something like this, And I was just happy to know that no one was severely hurt. That's what kind of kept me strong. I'm like, okay, nobody did get seriously hurt.
And
I didn't know that at the time. I found that out after the fact.
And see, so at this time, I find out she's back at school. She's literally going through the hallways, like
yeah, she goes through trauma.
Yeah, she's traumatized. She's pointing at
trauma.
like any black boy walk past her, like she's just freaking out, like, oh my god, he looks like. And she's so she doesn't know who it is, so she's freaking out at school, and I never really paid attention to her till then, and so then I'm like, man, he really didn't have to do this, but. I know Jay, man. It got to his heart, and once it gets to your heart, bro, you just got a good heart, bro. And once it gets to your heart, you can't do nothing.
I mean, to this day, right now, Rock, since that day, I've never did any drugs ever again.
Man.
From that day forward, I've never done any drugs again.
Man.
That night of that crime, that was my first time ever doing PCP. A day in my life.
Yeah, we used to smoke it a lot, bro.
Yeah, that was my first time ever doing that.
Yeah, but we used to smoke it. We used to smoke it all the time. And the bad thing about it, I never understood why we would like try to do something like go rob somebody. We would always like, I don't know if we thought it would give us the courage to do it, but it seemed like we would want to be more clear-minded. But I remember doing stuff with Justin, man. Rest in peace. And
rest in peace, Justin. Yeah.
And man, we go smoke with, and then we go sell guns, go sell some drugs. Right. Now we can't even look. We paranoid looking at the dude calling us, and we won't even go over there and talk to him. I never understood why. I mean, I guess that's just kids experimenting.
We didn't have we were searching for something, but we didn't know what to. It wasn't nothing it wasn't things that wasn't available for us in our environment that kept us entertained.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Couldn't hold our attention.
We didn't have much, so we was running to the things that we were exposed to. So that's why it's very important to be in an environment where your kids can see opportunities. They can see things that they can piece themselves with.
Yeah.
Because if you are unable to develop and use your mind, you're bound to be a slave to a person that does not use their mind.
Say that again.
So
you will. The borrower will be the slave to the master who's a member at all times. And,
absolutely.
Man, so you it didn't hit you. What type of journey do you go on inside of yourself?
Well, after I got my sentence, and I knew I was going to prison.
How many years do they tell you at the sentence?
Oh man, my judge told me, he said, Mr. Jackson, I know it's your first time ever in trouble with the law. I know you're asking for probation, and I'm entitled to give it to you. He said, but I'm not going to give it to you. He said, me and my family, we are also a victim of cases like this. He said, so I'm going to sentence you to 50 years in prison in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
See, Wanda told me that, and I said 50 years. Come on, Wanda. I say, he didn't even kill nobody. I said, it's his first offense. This doesn't make sense. It didn't add up to me.
Yeah.
So my hope is a year or two. I'm going to go lay low in New Orleans, go back to Alabama, go to New Orleans, get my money up, go do the hustle up. I'm going to come back, Jay going to be out, and I'm going to run into Jay. I come back to Texas in 97.
Us as teenagers, all we can see is just, our vision is only this year and next year.
Yeah,
we just got tunnel vision. We don't see 5 and 10 years down the line. And that's the same thing with our actions. We don't see the consequences, the real consequences of the damage that we are actually doing. We're not realizing that our actions is being affected by our victims, by our neighbors, by our peers, by our justice system. We not seeing that. And I didn't see that, but they did.
Yeah.
And they said, we have to go ahead and put this one away. But not knowing the law was a lot of things, meant a lot with me. But prison, man, I fell down many times while I was in prison. I fell down very many times, but I always got back up.
You said fell down.
Yeah, I adapted to the environment.
Yeah.
You know,
You there for 29 strong. Was it 29?
28 years and 8 months.
28 years, 8 months.
Yeah.
And you are there and you're barely 18.
I was surrounded by grown men, bro.
And you weigh about 140 pounds at the time.
140 pounds at the time.
Yes.
And hey man,
you know what I used to think about all the time?
they were wolves.
Like I said, man, I felt like, you say you feel like you were embarrassed. I feel like I failed you. Because you were younger than me, man. Like, we learned from each other. We fed off each other's energy.
Absolutely.
And
we always did.
And when you went in, bruh, it triggered. I didn't know I was already depressed from breaking my hip. I didn't realize I started. Yeah, so I didn't realize that should be depression. She said, "Wait, you love football. You couldn't play again ever again?" I said, "No, I could never play again." I said, "My name was in the Chronicle the week that I found out I broke my hip. I was number 10 in the city of Houston. Had 2 interceptions in the last game, and I broke my hip. They said no more football." She said, "That is trauma." She said, "First of all, breaking your hip, that's a hip replacement. That's traumatizing." She said, "But you were 16."
Depression.
And I was depressed, so that's why I'm out robbing like that. You depressed, you going through your situation, you lost your mama, we're both.
I have a father.
Yes, we're both, and see, my dad is there, but he's way in Alabama. I gotta go find him on the roof to get to him. But if I don't go to him, which at that time, I'm mad at him too. Because I find out he's on drugs. So he walks in a room on the other side of me and stays in the room for 3 days and don't come out. And I realize, man, he ain't not getting high. Like, so I go to New Orleans right after all that happens, and it happens to me. But the trauma is hitting us. Like, I feel like, I mean, definitely not comparing mine to yours, but I felt like we was kind of going through the same thing. I'm on the outside, you on the inside, but
they very compatible. They are.
Yeah, and but the thing was, it was like my mind would always go to it. Man, what the hell Jay doing today? I wonder how many niggas he had to knock the hell out.
Oh, to be honest with you, bro. My first day in prison, my first 5 minutes in prison, I got jumped on by 4 men. And after I got jumped on by 4 men, it didn't last nothing but about 4 or 5 minutes. But 4 or 5 minutes is a long time.
That's a long time in a fight.
But I seen they peers who they looked up to. And I said, hey, I just want my one-on-one with everybody who put their hands on me. With everybody who put their hands and feet on me, just give me one-on-one with your guys. I see you older. You looked up on this big homie.
Yeah.
Just give me my one-on-one with him. I knew then that this place was finna make my life hell. So I said I had to embrace that hell and bring my own hell to them. Because if I'm not going to be comfortable, you all ain't going to be comfortable either. And I was actually giving them power over me, Rob. At the time, it seemed like that's the noble thing to do.
You seem like you just mentioned fire with fire.
Playing fire with fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it took me many years to learn that the best thing to do with fire is just put water on it. But I was in a high-profile environment at the time. You weren't pouring water on nothing because it was too hot.
Yeah.
There wasn't no water to pour nothing on.
Yeah.
So I mastered intensity. I mastered. So that's why I say that I failed a few times because I adapted to the environment. I was like, I'm gonna be here for a long time. I might as well get comfortable. So, and even though I was being violent towards the ones to defend myself to keep the wolves above my ass, you know, I said to myself, man, that ain't me. I was telling myself that, you know, some things when I was defending myself, you could say, I hate when I seen the look on some of these guys' family faces when I had to go to visit and see their parents or they sisters and brothers and they crying because you got them looking like something, like a grapefruit. You know what I mean? I was like, damn. You know what I mean?
I
know how they feel because I know how my family feel when I see you like this.
You always had a heart. You always had a heart. And I always figured, like, that's the thing that would give you your line. Like, you always had a heart, bro. I mean, it takes heart to be the youngest kid and say, I'm going to pay the bills. Y'all fall back.
Right.
that takes heart, bro. And you always had that big heart. And I couldn't figure out in my brain whether it was gonna eat you alive or make a monster out of you. And I didn't know. And I'm seeing what came out, and I'm just like, man, God is fucking amazing. Like, this is amazing right here. That you came out like this. You didn't come out like you say you failed, but like the Bible say, you could fall 99 times as long as you get up 100. You won,
Right.
and you got up 100 times, bro. Cause every now and then I go by Wonders. Oh, I got a picture of Jay. I'm looking at the pictures of you. Damn, this nigga look the same. This nigga not even aging.
Right.
So I'm looking at your pictures, and I'm like, bro, he's not even aging. It's like time just stood still on you. And so I started thinking, like, how did time sit on you? Like,
Well, I had to distance my mind from this world because I knew that I couldn't control it.
yeah,
The things that I did was that I stayed clean. Clean was the most important thing because, man, you can die off and I was staying clean and I was being healthy. Being clean and being healthy and minding your damn business.
yeah. That's hard to do
You know
in
what I mean?
prison. It's hard to do because you got
Yeah.
time, ain't nothing to do.
Yeah,
But most people just cruise a cop out and develop a habit, and then they get out and the habit's even worse.
Was minding my own business was a little problem for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Because I seen some men that came in as young as I was and they was getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them to go through that. So I was dipping my
Yeah.
motherfucking finger in somebody else's business. So that was coming with consequences. I couldn't get my GED for a whole year because I was always fighting in the classroom or fighting in the bathrooms. You know what I mean? I'm fighting somebody else's battles. I was always taking a heavy load for somebody. It wasn't always my business.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like,
Trying to do the right thing.
Well, it's 3 ways to treat a person. You can treat a person as they want to be treated. You can treat a person as they treat others, and you can treat others as they treat themselves. You know, so to decipher how to treat a person, you know what I mean? You have to examine and measure that person to see exactly who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was able to define a lot of people. But I want to backtrack a little bit. I had a friend that you and I went to Creek with. His name was Matt Frazier.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was a basketball player, damn good basketball player. He wanted to be a rapper, but his greatest talent, I believe, was basketball.
Yeah.
And he assisted me with his father, helped me out with being my attorney. I never knew that his father wasn't an attorney, so he came and represented me. But it was already too late, you know.
It's already after the
things.
sentencing.
But his father told me something that I would never forget. I always kept that with me. He said, James, you finna go to prison. He said, prison can turn you into a criminal. No, he said, prison can turn you into a killer or it can turn you into a better man. You decide which one you want to be.
That was the other thing, bro.
You know what I mean?
I knew as good as your heart was, you like me, like you put my back against the wall, bro. I'm not gonna back down.
Absolutely.
And so I
Absolutely.
wondered, like, and I hope he ain't had to kill nobody now. Like, I know if you went in and this weighed on you what you did to them, no matter how mad they got you, if you took a life, I felt like that would have wounded you even deeper and maybe sent you off the deep end.
Man, that's when God came in effect with me, man. God came in effect with me. That's when God revealed himself to me many times while I was incarcerated. But it was just one time that I was pushed to my limit. And I was finna lose control. And God revealed himself to me and got me away from that situation.
What? You say push to the limit. Somebody got under your skin and now you can't let it ride.
Yeah, I couldn't let it ride, and I had it in my mind. I said, this guy is not finna stop. Got a life sentence.
Mm.
This guy is not finna stop. He just sent so many people after me. I overcame that hurdle, and I could never get to him because he already had people always guarding.
Jesus.
Until he wouldn't stop. And the guy told me, he said, man, I'm gonna break your spirit. He told me that, and when he told me that, I said, man, I'm finna eliminate him. So, at the end of the day, I was doing so much fighting. I was fighting more than the average person that was in prison. I was on Clemens Unit, the Burning Hill. They call it the Burning Hill in Brazoria County. And many men was telling me, man, won't you just stab him, make you a shank? I'm like, what the hell is a shank? You know,
They don't realize you came in so young. You don't
know what the hell the shank is. Now, how would you make one? It's a knife. I said, how do you make one? Give me one. I said, man, I can't do that because I'll be putting myself in the harm's way. So I had a cellmate that was like, man, he was Hispanic. He said, man, he was tired of me coming to the cell with blood all on the floor, on the sink and whatnot. I had to clean up myself. And he was like, man, I'm finna show you how to make one. Don't ever tell nobody that I showed you how to. So I was like, okay. So he showed me how to make one. And I had it shine the gold teeth. I had it like a Phillips screwdriver. And it was about this long. It was about the size, the width of my pinky. I had it shining on both ends like a gold tooth. But that one guy, I told myself I was going to eliminate him that next morning. I premeditated and everything. I just zoned out. I was going to get him at breakfast time. I was going to go in the cell while he was asleep. And I was going to just end him. I was going to end him. I wasn't going to play with him. I was going to just hit him all up in his throat. I was going to. And I sat in my cell. It was 12 o'clock at night. I wasn't finna go to sleep. I was gonna wait till breakfast. When they called for breakfast at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, when they called us out, I was gonna go in and cell. When they called us back, I was gonna leave about it and say I had to premeditate. And I was so, like I said about us, on mine, we didn't know the consequences of the thing. I thought that I had 50 years. I didn't know that I could get more time. Yeah. I just thought that I just had to sit up in him for the rest of my life for 50 years or 25 years, and that was it. I didn't realize if I hurt someone in here that I can get more time. But that's just how, you know,
so young,
I didn't know the consequences of
what
things.
So young, bro.
So at 12:30, officer came to my cell and called me by my name and said, show me your identification. So I presented it to him. And he said, pack your stuff. You're going to bench warrant to the county jail. So I was like, bench warrant? He said, yeah. Your case is on appeal. So I don't have no lawyer. I didn't know no one represented me. No one has contacted me or anything. They told me that the night that I was going to end it for somebody. And I told my cellmate, man, can you hold this for me until I come back? I'm pretty sure I'm finna come back and do a turnaround. He said, if you're not back in 30 days, I'm finna do away with this. But I'll hold it for you. I'll put it up for you. So I packed my stuff, and within 5 o'clock that morning, I was going back to Harris County. And I'm looking like, man, who am I here for? My judge didn't know that I was even coming. My judge, Jim Wallace, courtroom 263. He said, what is he doing here? I did not call for him. I am not finna see him. And my lawyer was like, man, James, I called you back because there's a lot of things about your case that you don't know about, man. I'm really trying to make this right. What was wrong that was done to you? I was like, man. So my judge was so furious when he seen me. The baby was like, Mr. Jackson's man is mad at you. So guys that was waiting to go to court, they was like, man, get him out of here. Because he making this man mad. He gonna take his anger out on us.
Yeah, everybody say that.
So they sent me off. Sent me back to the holding area. I didn't even go see the judge. He said he was not finna see me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm finna go back to prison, where they kept me in the county jail for actually 14 days. While I was still there in the county jail, Tupac died.
So it's 96.
It's 96.
That would
You know what I
be.
mean?
I remember I was in Alabama in '96. So it's like summer '96.
No, excuse me, I wasn't there for 14. I was there for 21 days before they sent me back to prison. But when they didn't send me back to Clemens or to Missouri, they sent me all the way to Gaza West. They sent me to Gaza West. I was like, why didn't they send me back to my sign? You know, I only been gone 21 days. They sent me back to Gaza West, somewhere where I've never been at. And I stayed there for 11 months. And then after 11 months, they sent me back to Clemens. But when they sent me back to Clemens, I zoned back out. I said I was going to finish what I was going to complete. But when I made it there, that guy, they shipped him. He got in a ride a month before I got shipped there, and they sent him to another for us.
Wow.
That's when God revealed himself to me.
I bet he did.
Because that was God. That was God.
You know that's a whole lot. The judge don't even know what's going on.
The judge don't even know that I was there.
That
was God. And then when I came back, you just now left.
Yeah, that's, man.
I missed you by a couple of weeks.
I'm glad that you can make the realization that that's not luck, that's not happenstance, that's not coincidence, that's nothing but God stepping in and saying, nah, I got another thing for you to do. That's not for you to do. That it don't end right here, it don't stop right here. You don't have to do that. And I'm gonna make sure that you don't even think about it no more.
That you're not up under no peer pressure that you can't handle.
Man, it's just like Daniel in the Lions Den. Daniel, he didn't have to beat the Lions up. I imagine he just curled up next to the Lions and went to sleep. The Lions, he said the God shut the Lions' mouth. And that's what God did for you. He literally shut the Lions' mouth. To where, because that was the other thing, man. I know how niggas can be. And I know how, people told me people just get this thing in prison when you get this one dude just messing with you, he just won't leave you alone. And you being young, I felt like, and then you being like young and strong-minded, I always tell man, real niggas tend to rub other people wrong. and it tends to be the insecure people or people who, and then when they get it in their mind, they don't let it go.
Right.
So I wonder, like, what are you gonna do when you run up to that situation? But it's good to know that God stepped into that situation. You recognize it, and you able to like give Him all the glory for it, bro. Because that's literally you and that's your Lions Den right there.
Absolutely.
That is your Lions Den when you sitting there and you just trying to figure out, am I gonna just go all the way, or is this gonna be all over? Man. And the crazy thing about it, bro, this is 96. What are you still not even 18 yet.
17 years old.
17 years old, bro. And you had to think about whether I'm gonna just go ahead and live this life, get it done, just so I can have peace while I'm in here.
Man, I adapted to the environment when I first got there, man. I was trying to learn the ropes after I called it my first hell month. After the first 30 days, I think I made it have a little over 35, 40 fights.
Jesus.
In 30 days.
Literally.
Literally.
Is the fights because you mad, or is it because you feel like they stepping on your toes?
No, the fights was because I was affiliated. At that time, being a blood was very rare in the 90s. I wasn't.
You had to be from the southeast side of town.
Yeah.
You had to be from the outer side of town.
Yeah.
Like, because north side and west side is all blue.
Man, at this time, bro, man, I was surrounded by nothing but Crips and disciples. And might have been about 7 bloods on the whole entire unit. If that,
Jeez.
If it was, they were afraid to say it. So that played a trigger. Why I had a hard time, so they gave me a hard time. They was like, we're going to break your spirit.
That explains it. I mean, because affiliation either makes your stay better or it makes it harder.
Right.
If you get the right tank and everybody in there with you, then it's good. It's all love, and now you just got to worry about individuals. But if you get the wrong tank, then it becomes a whole different thing. And I never even thought about that aspect. I forget, like, bro, you shit. Everybody around me sloppy. Everybody around me is from pretty much from Bloods. Like so much to the point that everybody still think I'm Blood.
Yeah. They still talking about you.
Yeah, people still
like,
think right.
Like, man, I'm from Alabama, man.
And I told everybody, like, I'm a Redskin fan, Alabama fan. It's just a color, bro.
Yeah.
And I was talking to PSK about that. JT. And JT said the same thing. He said, man, I wear so much red. It's like, bro, the people really think you're affiliated because of everybody around you is affiliated, and sometimes you just get lost in the shuffle. But it never even crossed my mind that would be a factor, because that's not such a factor out here in the streets of Texas. It's not a big factor. It's more of a north side, south side thing than a blue red thing on the streets. But in now, it's amplified.
Oh, they're very, very, very much amplified. And like I said, a lot of my situations wasn't just necessarily me. It was just who I was associated with, who I was affiliated with. But that's part of my past also. I want to make that straight. But I want to say, after my first 5 years, I've been wanting to leave that alone. I've been wanting to step away from that. But what I experienced my first 5 years, I always wanted to reach back to the brothers that might have to go through my same situation. So I always want to be a guidance for them.
I mean,
and show them the right way. You can do this the right way without doing this. So that led me to be loyal to them. And I accepted everything that came with them, because I was trying to be that positive bro, big bro that I didn't have, me coming up like this. So I took that lead. And when I took that lead, a leader is a person that navigates the actions of his followers and ensure they don't violate their own principles. So I made sure that I made all of them stand by that. So I wasn't around here trying to bully nobody. To be honest with you, man, 99% of my fights in prison were black people.
I mean, that was the other thing.
I never had a fight with a white person in prison. We always got along. It was my own people. That was my worst.
Ain't that the saddest thing?
That's the saddest.
That's the saddest thing, that it's nothing but us there, and it's still fights.
Yeah.
And we're all being oppressed. We're all here in the same conditions.
Right.
And we still find a way to not love our brother.
We in lockup, and we gotta share hygiene with each other.
Yes, right.
Share toothpaste and deodorant, because we in lockup. We ain't got no problem.
You sharing everything. You might not got your commissary yet, so you get yours, I got you. But the problem is brother. It's brother to brother. It's not Aryan against brother. Yeah. They usually keep that pretty separate, because they know if they put too much that in the tank together, it's going down. But the fact that 99% of your fights, brothers.
The only reason why it wasn't 100, because the only fights that I had with a Hispanic is when we had a racial riot, and you have to get...
You got to pick a side.
You have to.
Everybody going in.
I mean, if you don't, then they going to get you for not even stepping in, so you don't have no choice.
Well, that is
Now, that's how it was.
I mean, that's the rule.
If you watch the brother get hurt and you ain't help...
That's the rule out here in the free world, bro. I tell, like, my white homeboys, one of my white homeboys went through a divorce about 2 years ago. And I said, I don't even go to the club no more. I said, but you're going through the divorce. I know you need a wingman. I'm going to go to the club with you. I said, but you better tell all your little punk little white boys that go out with us, we all niggas tonight, we all fight, and if we all don't fight, I'm going to whoop their ass when we get back. And we sat at one of the white boys' house, and he said, but why we never went to the club yet? He said, man, he waiting on y'all to say yeah. I said, I'm not going nowhere with y'all until you agree to the code, because I'm telling you right now, I don't go out much. But if it happens to go down, we all fight together, or I'm going to whoop that ass, whether it's either going to be in the tank when we get in jail, or when we get back to this apartment. One way or the other, I'm going to whoop that ass if you don't fight with us. I'm not rolling with you unless we're all one team. And I've been like that regardless. So I get it. Like, it's a riot, and it's brown against black. Nigga, you going to have to pick a side. It ain't no... Man, I know you gave me the bean burrito last week. No, it ain't. You can't. You don't have that choice.
I'll be honest with you. Back then, it was so divided. Blacks didn't have. Hispanics weren't allowed to eat with blacks. You weren't allowed to. I could have a cellmate,
You'd have a cellmate, but y'all could eat together.
If he got caught eating with me, his brothers would have took him on the regular and beat him down.
Cartel.
No.
Or Houston.
All of them. Yeah.
Houston.
All of them.
All of
Petey,
them.
you weren't allowed
Wow.
to eat with no black. If you,
Their racism is stronger than ours.
yeah, man.
Than white, I guess.
It changed after years, but when I
Yeah,
first,
when
got
there,
no, man, you will get it. They coming after you if you eat from a black.
Wow.
So I had no problems with no Hispanics at all. Me and my friend, me and my sister was like, we was tight.
Yeah.
But he was like, man, when it go down, just don't go after me, and I ain't gonna go after you.
Damn.
Because we have to do what we have to do.
Yeah, bro, that's
You know?
that's crazy that you gotta settle it and it goes down and y'all literally gotta say, bro, you just stay on your side, I stay on my side, so we don't run into each other.
Yeah, just go over there and I'm gonna be on this way. Cause I have to. You know.
Yeah. So the biggest race struggle, the white-black race struggle is not even there. It's more the brother-to-brother dealings, and when it breaks out in a riot and everybody picks a side, you gotta pick a side.
Right. Right.
Man.
Right.
Anybody you owe, like anybody that just not just looked out for you, like bro, I would have been out of there if they hadn't been there. Anybody you owe your life to?
Oh man, I'm a say. I would say no.
Some people owe you their life.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I don't believe that no more. I used to believe that some people owe me and that I owed some people. But after my vision, I don't have just tunnel vision no more.
Yeah.
Man, I owe myself.
That's it,
You know
bro.
what I mean? I owe myself, man. That's where it starts at. Everything starts with me. You know what I mean? I owe myself. Have I saved some million lives up off of them? Absolutely. Absolutely. Have some men also helped me along the way through some adversities and trials? Absolutely. But that's just what we did.
Yeah.
That's just what we did. And I mean, I reached out to help some guys, man. Like I said, it wasn't none of my business.
Yeah.
It wasn't none of my business at all.
At all. No reason to do it, just.
But I just wanted somebody to help me if I was in that situation, man.
I always tell people, bro, if you live by that golden rule,
Yeah.
like if I'll see people, baby, pull over. Let me help you push their car. So let me go change their tire real quick. Because if you on the side of the road, I want somebody to do it. If it was my mom on the side of the road, you have to sow the seed, man. And if you're not sowing the seed in life, that weight of feels heavier. But when you're sowing the seed, you'll realize you're just reaping the harvest of what you put out there. And so it comes back different. And when it comes back different, and it might take a while, bro, because you seeing me now. Man, I done went through holy hell out here with women. Like I say, you don't get married full time without going through holy hell.
Right.
I went through holy hell.
Absolutely.
But my hell's nothing compared to what yours was, because mine's out here, I ain't gonna say normal, but it's about as normal as you get. It's not normal to get married 4 times, but it's normal to go through trials and tribulations, wherever you are. And that was the thing, man. When I thought about you, I'd be sitting there with Ted. We might be smoking and drinking. I said, I wonder what the hell Jay doing. And Ted say, he's still locked up. Ted always say, same thing, he's still locked up. I said, yeah, last I talked to Wanda. And I wouldn't, I sometimes me and Wanda have our kicking periods when we kicked it hard. It was more when I was single. But, once you get married, everything's a little different. But, yeah, but I go, and every time the conversation always gets to you. And she got a picture. And I went to see him. He asked about you. And then...
I was always asking about you.
And then...
I was always asking.
Harvey happens. And you call me. Dude, do you not know that when you called me, I did not know Harvey was happening? I will tell you. Let me tell you the God's honest truth, Jay. I'm going to tell you what's happening. Me and my wife, we didn't had our little, we didn't turn our phones off. We just going through our weekend. We having our, I tell people we were honeymooning for a while.
Right.
So we doing our thing. We didn't turn the phones off. We're not looking at TV. So we hear the rain, but we're not paying attention to, it hadn't stopped for 3-4 days. People calling me from Alabama. What the heck everybody calling me from Alabama for? It wasn't until you called, and you know you calling from a random number. And I looked at that phone.
Cell phone.
Cell phone in prison. I looked at that phone. I said, I need to pick that phone up, baby. She said, who is it? I said, I don't know. But I need to pick it up. And when I heard your voice, Jay, what the hell? He said, bro, are you okay? I'm seeing all the pictures on the news. I said, what are you seeing on the news? And you say, man, the city flood, y'all all right? I said, man, we fine. And while I'm on the phone, so I opened up the door. And Jay, I shit you not. I opened that door with a speedboat.
Yeah.
That's why I say, Jay, man, I appreciate you calling. Let me call you back, bro. I don't know what to tell. I had no clue. You were the first person to tell me the city was underwater.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yes, bro, you were the first person. Yes, when you called me and my wife said, hold on, maybe we need to. And we were going through the text messages and the phone calls. Our family members are calling us from everywhere. But when we say we turn our phones off, we turn it off. We pay attention to each other. I finally got a wife I like, so I don't apologize for no reason.
Ronnie, you know what made me contact you? Man, I always felt, you got off the phone with me, man, but I never get a chance to tell you that I was sorry. But I always felt bad. I always wanted to make sure that, see if me and you, if I can get back our friendship.
Our friendship never left, bro.
Yeah, but you know, when you don't hear from somebody,
it's different.
You think the worst case scenario. You don't think the best case scenario. Especially when you in a toxic environment where you get nothing but negative results, negative actions. So my mind, the way I'm wired in there, is that I'm always thinking about the worst case scenario because that's how I have to protect myself.
Yeah.
I have to prepare for the worst case scenario. That's how I stay up on my pivot.
Yeah, and I was the same way. And I was thinking about you, and like I say, every time I thought about you, it was never, I bet Jay got his degree and he doing this. It was like, man, I wonder if he had to kill a nigga now.
Well, it took me some years to finally, like, say no mas, you know.
Yeah.
I lost 17 family members while I was in there. I woke up and seen many dead bodies while I was in prison, man. I can't even count and tell you how many cells that I done went to, and I'm just seeing the man dead with his eyes open, or the man dead with his tray in his hand, with oatmeal hanging from his mouth, and he had a heat stroke because the temperature was 148 degrees in there.
So it ain't no AC in them things, bro.
No, it was AC, but he was in lockup, and in lockup you up on the ground.
Yeah.
When you're up on the ground, and it was the winter time, they turn the heat on, but the heat is one speed. It's either all the way high or all the way low. So you got a man up in a cell with no fan on, and you were in a box oven.
Yeah.
They checked the temperature, it was 148 degrees. He was in the oven. So he's just sitting there like this, and he was just, they thought that he was just staying there.
Yeah.
He got oatmeal on his beard, and he was just sitting there like this hill, but he was dead. He was dead. So, you know, me seeing so many, I was never numb to that, man, because I always say to myself, that ain't normal, man. So I used to talk to people to try to get them to, you know, stay focused.
Yeah, I mean, that'll shake and rattle you right there.
Stay focused, you know. I seen a lot, man. You know what I mean? I seen more than what I had to go through, even though I've been through a lot. I had a little over 60-something fights while I was in prison. I've been in 4 rides. I done been in several life or death situations, man. But that wasn't normal. And I always told myself that it wasn't normal. But everything in there wasn't just all bad. I've had some good moments in there also. I've had some fun in there.
When did you get your GED?
I got my GED when I made it to Ferguson. I was in a ride in 2000. They shipped me in 2000, sent me to the Jim Ferguson, the second worst unit in the state of Texas. I got my GED within a year there. Within a year, because on Clemens unit, I couldn't even get a GED because I stayed in lockup so much from fighting. I fought. That's all I did there. That's all I did there.
You know what's crazy?
You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people don't know. They don't know absolutely all. I didn't get my GED till 2010. Most people think I graduated.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was in honors classes, so they just
Okay.
figured I graduated. I got to walk off stage,
Okay.
but I went and I needed 1/2 a credit. I
Okay.
needed 1/2 a credit to stop me from graduating. I didn't get that. I never got that 1/2 a credit. I only needed 1/2 a credit from getting kicked out of Creek and all that stuff. We had to make up the grades from getting kicked out of Creek and all that. So I got to walk, but I didn't graduate. I got my GED when I went back to college in 2010.
Absolutely. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know that.
I got mine in 2002, 2003.
So even though we start off here together, go in totally different paths, it seems like we still were on the same journey. You got your trials and now like you got yours, I'm going through my trials here. You realize, hey, I'm gonna go back and get my GED. You know why I went back and got mine? I didn't want my daughters to throw it in my face.
Come on, man.
I didn't want them to say, well, Daddy, you ain't do it. Well, I gotta do it.
Right.
So not only got my GED, I went back to college and took a full load for a full year, 4 classes. First semester and second semester, and held a 3.0 down while I was married with 4 kids. I already had the 4 kids.
What was your most scariest moment in your life?
My most scariest moment?
I know mine, but I want to hear about yours.
The scariest moment was I was in New Orleans, man. That summer after I left, I started selling dope, like big time, like, and it wasn't even selling dope for the fun of it. The whole crew was dope fiends, so I'm trying to keep them from running to go to get the dope. I'm trying to keep the police down. So I'm gonna score when they score. I'm gonna keep the dope so they don't have to run and go get the dope, bring all that extra heat around here. I'll just facilitate that thing. Well, it turned into full out. I'm not only selling to them, they bringing other things around. I'm selling to everybody. I'm selling to all my uncles, even my own fucking father. Like I'm selling to everybody now, and I'm making $1,000 a week roofing, $1,000 a week selling dope. Friday we go score. Me and Stokes, Ricky Stokes, he spent 7 years in Angola. Got out, we taught him how to roof, he never went back. And so me and him is homeboys. We run the streets, we Club James, me, him, and Lil Vamp. Shout out to Lil Vamp and Stokes, I don't even know if they still alive, but we in New Orleans, so we score on a Friday. We're smoking weed, we just scored a pound of weed, we got 10 bundles of heroin, and we got an ounce of coke. We was tooting, we smoking, we in my daddy's truck, got an old F-150, and I pull up to a light. And I'm looking at him trying to grab the joint, easing off the clutch, so I'm rolling forward. And I grab the joint, and when I look up, I'm almost about to hit this car. I slam on brakes, the truck kind of do that rock.
Right.
I swear, that truck must have barely so much lightly tapped this woman's bumper. This white woman, old white woman. See her eyes come up, look at me in the rearview mirror. That was the scariest moment of my life. For 5 seconds, me and Stokes sat there and we didn't breathe. Because this truck smells like a pound. Not only did it smell like a pound, we got a pound, an ounce, and 10 bundles of heroin.
Right.
We gone for life. He's 7 years in Angola. So he gone. That's his third strike. He out there. It's gonna be my first. The light is red. She looks up and she doesn't move, she just looks. The light turned green and she just drove off. Stokes said, bro, I love you and your daddy for what y'all did for me. He said, well, bro, I was about to run and leave the city. I said, bro, if that woman get out that car, I run this light and I don't stop running until I get back to Texas. I said, bro, it was over for us. We riding, smoking, we got enough dope in this car to send us away for life.
Right.
I said, you already got strikes. I said, we gone.
Right.
I said, right. And at that moment, that's when I stopped doing this. I didn't stop selling, but I stopped smoking while I'm going to pick up drugs.
A mess up is only a message.
Yes, bro. And at that point, I just realized, bro, you gotta be smart about what you're doing. Like, you come on, you got all this drugs. What you need to smoke? You can smoke when you get there. Why you gonna smoke on the way? But it was just that young. You just don't give a damn.
There's always a warning before destruction.
Man, they say the fall comes. Yeah. The pride comes right before the fall. But that was the scariest moment of my life. And it wasn't even scary like somebody, I was scared. I knew that moment, if she gets out that car, there's no way. Like, we've got to run, leave that truck there with all the dope in there. My daddy gonna find a truck. He gonna have to come get his truck. But I've got to run, clean across New Orleans, catch a bus station, and run and get on that bus station and never look back. And probably gonna ruin a relationship with my daddy.
Right.
Ruin a relationship with the company I'm working for. Everything, like uncles, cousins, everybody.
Gonna come down.
It would all came down. And the crazy thing about it, that's the scariest moment in my life because that's when I realized, like, this ain't right, bro. Like, you out here, you already make $1,000 a week. Why you gotta sell dope? And I'm telling myself I'm doing it for the right reason. I'm telling them, man, I'm keeping it from running, and which it did. But it didn't ever make me feel bad in the end because now I feel like I'm selling dope to my family. So I feel like I'm killing y'all. And it's one thing to watch you kill yourself, but then it's one thing to participate in it.
Right. And
profit from it.
Right.
Because it wasn't like I was throwing the money away. I was, I ain't had no kids in, so I'm blowing the money, spending $1,000, $1,500 a weekend, just doing whatever. But it was so scary that it changed. I wasn't in New Orleans too much longer after that, bro.
Everything.
I went back to Atlanta, and I was gonna go back to school. I went back to school and started classes out there, man, and I probably passed the class. Couldn't handle the brokenness. I got used to the money. It was New Year's, bro. I'll never forget this. It was New Year's '96. I got paid, and I had $100 left. My brother said, I need $95 for the bills. I gave him $95, I had $5 back. I said, damn, bro. I can't even buy nothing in New Orleans in Atlanta. They sell nickel sacks. Go buy me a Nick sack. I went to buy me a Nick sack and realized I ain't got $1 by the blunt, bro. I was in New Orleans smoking an ounce of weed. Matter of fact, I ain't even have to buy weed because I was bringing weed from Texas. Niggas selling weed for me. I just go pick it up. So I'm sitting there, bro, and it got to me. So I couldn't handle the brokenness. Literally got suicidal. And called the radio station. I ain't never called a radio station in my life, dude. Talked Too Short on the radio station that night. I was suicidal, bro. I was about to put myself in the bathtub and drop a toaster in there with me. Behind money, bro. That's how addicted to the money I had got for selling dope. And I called my dad and said, bro, I need to come back to roof. I can't do this. My brother. The problem was, my brother was in college in Atlanta. And he used to hit me for money. I could send him $300 when I was hustling. I'm living with him now. And now when he get to struggling, we ain't got nobody to call. So it's like both of us can't make it in college, bro. Both of us not gonna make it in college. You already halfway there. You go ahead finish. I'm gonna go back to roofing. So when you need some money, you hit me up. And I felt like you. Like I need to take this charge. I'm the youngest, but Nathan, he gonna get that engineering degree. He gonna finish. He an engineer now, and he finished college. But if I stay there with him, he's trying to get me through. He doesn't focus on his job. And why he ain't got nobody to call for $200-$300 when he get broke. When he ain't got his back against the wall. Now, because I'm here with him and I'm just as broke as him. So my reasoning was go back. And then when I leave New Orleans, remember now, I leave New Orleans and my daddy, he done walked in the room and I found out he's selling the drugs. I realized one of the biggest customers that I'm thinking is somebody else and it's my daddy. They just disguising it from me. So I feel awful. I feel shitty. I feel like, not only do I find out he's on the drugs, but I found out my biggest customer was him. I'm thinking it was them and it was him the whole time, but they knew to disguise it from me. So now I feel low, bro. And like I say, it was just a low point in my life, bro. This is before I get kids, because when I leave Atlanta, my dad didn't want in New Orleans, so they was in Florida. I went to Destin, Florida. We were staying in Destin, Florida. We was working in all the condos in Destin. We put all them condos, the roofs on all those condos. We were staying in what was this? Little small little town right off of Destin. And I hold that. I ended up run through women for a long time, bro. My numbers went through the roof. I was selling dope, Florida. It's women everywhere in
That was
Florida.
your way of just dealing with it.
I was trying to deal with
You were
it.
trying to deal
And
with it.
then I made myself even sicker because I realized I was just like trying to mask it. So I done ran through all these women now. And I can't remember half of them. 80 started coming around. I'm like, shit, I gotta go get tested, bro. You been out here acting bad. You been drunk. You don't know what you been did. And now I'm scared to go take a test. And I go take the test and I'm fine. But again, it's one of them moments where it hits you like, bro, you out of control. Stop. Just stop and think, bro. You better than this.
Yeah.
And I stopped, bro. And the only thing that stopped me was, people getting pregnant. The girl was supposed to be pregnant in Alabama. She ended up losing a baby or wasn't pregnant, whatever she was. But I break up with her in '96 and moved back to Texas. First person I touched when I come back to Texas is my ex-wife, Delilah. High school girl I was with at Creek. Touched her the first time I touched her, she got pregnant. Soon as first night. We slept together that first night. I ain't slept for 2 weeks. She called me 2 weeks later. I'm pregnant. I said, man, I'm on the way back to New Orleans. Then I went back to New Orleans and really started hustling. This time I was a little smarter. I ain't riding around doing stupid stuff, but now I got a baby on the way. I really went in hustle mode. I went in hustle mode like stupid. So now I'm still selling the dope, but different agenda this time. New Orleans, bro. That was my worst.
That's a place I don't think that I would ever go live in.
And the thing about, I spent like 9 summers in New Orleans, bro. Like 9 summers, like growing up. I spent a lot of summers, but like, you remember the watch with the bullets on the side?
Yeah.
New Orleans?
That's actually one of my sister's favorite places to go to for vacation for whatever reason, but man,
Who, Nikki?
Yeah, Nikki. That's her favorite place, but
it's a Scorpio city. New Orleans and Vegas is Scorpio city. Like, they just bring Scorpios alive. And I knew that, so I've been to Vegas 3 times. First time God, seriously spoke to me, I was in Vegas. Okay. And that was scary, but it was scary because I knew I heard what I heard. And the shit sounded so profound that I couldn't make it into nothing but, man, it had to be God. Because I literally asked every person that was around me, like, did you hear that? Right. And everybody's looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about? I said, you didn't hear that, the voice that said, go, she's gonna be like, they like, what the? Everybody, and I'm standing in Vegas on the strip, so there's a lot of people around me. But we were just fighting. I done threw money at her ass. The wife before this one was crazy. Right. Window busting, slashing tires, tearing up studios, drum sets. Yeah, she was bad, bro. She was bad. And you'd have never thought because she was a school teacher. Right. Graduated from Southern. But like I say, all my horrible moments was self-inflicted. It was all self-inflicted, bro. It was always self-inflicted. I felt like when you out here, I feel like they're more self-inflicted. I feel like when you in like that, they're not self-inflicted. It's environment. Like you say, you had to adapt.
Right. You have to.
And
I will tell you this though, man. I'm not gonna make it long. I'm gonna just cut straight to it. I can hands down say, man, my scariest moment that I was terrified in that place is when that woman told me that she was pregnant.
The woman? Boy, elaborate.
I got a female pregnant. You said in 2010 when they got your GED?
Yeah.
I got a relationship with a girl in 2010. Lasted almost 3 years. She got pregnant by me.
Jesus Christ.
And when she came and sat down next to me and told me that she was pregnant.
What? Okay, so first of all, what's the consequences of getting a guard pregnant?
Well, the consequences for me, all they can do is just lock me up.
Yeah, all they can do is give you extra time.
The consequences for a guard, they can actually charge them because
I was gonna say she can get charged.
I'm state property, so they can actually hit her with a sex charge.
Wow.
They can actually hit her with a sex charge. And make her registered as a sex offender. You sexually assaulted all cattle, as they looked at us cattle.
explain this whole relationship, how this starts and how this.
Man.
I mean, it's man and woman in time. So
like I said, it wasn't always
bad. I leave it to you to find a way. But Jay, pregnant, wow, bro,
well,
that is amazing. Like,
nah, that's really common in there.
really, pregnant guards.
It's common.
Wow.
Like, make sure you.
I know they sleep with them. I've seen these women.
Make sure you are conscious, aware to respect these women, because you never know that lump you see in their stomach. You don't know who that baby daddy is. So I know some guys in there that got married. I know one relationship that they got married while they were still there, and they didn't even know. They didn't even know they legally got married.
They got legally married and the prison didn't know.
They didn't even know.
Wow.
He got out. He finally got out, and they was living. They married, happily married. She ended up dying in 2021 from COVID.
Oh my God.
But back then though, yeah, man, I was in the living for the moment. I got my GED out. Instead of me pursuing my college degree, I was like, what's the use to me jumping in college? And by the time I get ready to get out, things gonna be more advanced. So I'm gonna be years behind anyway. So I immediately went to hustling to support myself,
And we go back to what we know.
Because they feed us terrible. The living in there is
you gotta make some kind of currency to make yourself better.
They don't pay us in there, so they weren't paying the officers properly. So I immediately went to hustling, man, selling cell phones. Cell phones go for at least $1,000 in there. And those are $12 cell phones, a little $12 flip.
A little flip phone.
That's $1,000.
Wow.
And if you got a charger to come with it, that's another $200.
Wow.
So I'm doing that, little tobacco and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
it's.
It was convenient. It was easy.
I mean, that's what you gotta do. I mean, it's what else could you have done to
there's a lot of things that you can do
besides selling drugs and selling yourself. Ain't nothing else.
No. I mean, the women in there selling themselves. Some of the women need a protector.
Wow.
You find some guys that got some money, and they are clean. That you can get their records. It's proving me that they clean. You orchestrated, and I'm gonna bring it to the table, man.
Wow.
And
controlled environment for them.
Yeah, it was like that. It wasn't always like that, but it was like that. But actually, the girl that I got pregnant, man, I never tried to pursue her. We were just cool,
Yeah.
I knew that she was, she was a part of the product,
Yeah.
the environment.
Yeah.
I respected her, and she respected me. I never pursued her. She actually had a man, but her man, he was a guy that he was taking advantage of a lot of the younger guys. And by his position, he felt as though he was above them. So when I always seen somebody trying to take advantage of somebody, I always magnated to that.
Yeah.
Once I seen that, and he was controlling them and letting them know that I can do whatever I want to do with y'all. Stay away from them, or I get rid of all of you guys.
He locked up?
Yeah, he locked up too. We all locked up.
Wow. So she got a man locked up and you.
Yeah, so I seen what was going on. I didn't like how he was treating them younger guys.
Yeah.
Because they was young. They was little teenagers trying to have something for them. So that gave me motivation. I said, I'm going to take him from her. So, because I knew that he wasn't paying her.
Yeah.
So I showed her the right way on how to take care of herself financially. So she was like, man, thank you. I said, well, your man's not giving you what you're supposed to be getting, so let me just show you the right way. Why he's not caring for you. Let me show you the right way. So I never pursued her. But she was like, man, hey, man, you cute, you know what I mean? Now, so, I didn't think that you was into white girls, but...
So it's a white girl?
Yeah, she was a white girl.
Wow, white guard. Good Jesus.
And,
how many female guards are there in the prison?
That's the majority of all of them.
Really? You are lying.
Yeah, that's majority of all of them because that's where they're from. That's all they know. Like all we knew is the streets. All they know is to come
Work
for
for the
TDC.
CDC.
That's
Like
all
it
they
is in
know.
Huntsville.
It
That's
wasn't,
everybody the
it
whole
wasn't
time.
no other, nothing else around. So they like,
Yeah.
when you get out of high school, if you don't got no degree, which more likely you're not because no scouts is
Most
coming
people
to
don't. Mhm.
Madisonville, Midway.
Yeah.
Midway is only one street. So you know, they didn't have a lot of options, so they like go work for prison.
I mean, it's just like the plants here.
And these girls, they never been around, they were never raised around blacks. So they like,
Wow. Yeah, they wild.
know,
And they getting the pick of the litter because
Yeah.
they literally seeing everybody. You get to pick what you want.
Exactly. So next thing you know, we ended up having sex. I showed her a way that we can do it and get away with it. I told her, you don't have to leave your man.
Mm.
We just having fun. She said, man, just keep your feelings involved. That's what she told me, keep your feelings involved. I mean, keep your feelings up out of it. That's what she said, keep your feelings out of it. We just having fun. I'm like, right. So I kept my emotions in check. But when I put it on her, and she seen how that money was coming on a week to week, every 4 days.
Yeah.
She was like, no, I'm gonna leave him. I tried to tell her, I knew what was gonna come with it. Cause you taking care of him while he in jail. He not taking care of you. So I knew what was gonna come with it. So she was like, no, I'm finna leave him. I said, well, I wanna see you do it. So she broke it off with him. And I was able to see it. She crushed his heart. So all them guys that he was bullying, I told those guys, see, I'm gonna put this in your hand, put this in your hand, put this in your hand, and you go sell it and bring me back this and you can keep the rest. I put them on, the guys who he chucked to the streets.
Wow.
So that was my way. So had sex with her one time, she was hooked. After that second time, I was like, man, we just having fun, right? She said, no, that's it. She said, no, she said, it's us or nothing. She said, no. So we went to having sex 4 or 5 times a day, literally 7 days a week. I went from 175 to 145. She drained me so much. You know, I worked in solitary, so we was closed off from everybody.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you find 4 or 5?
Yeah. You know, I took care of everybody in that environment. So when I closed the doors, they respect me. And I fed everybody. I respected everybody, so they respected me.
Yeah.
So they didn't know what I was doing. They just knew that. Oh, big homie. That's what they said. Big homie Jay.
Yeah.
He got us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that y'all get fed. I'm gonna make sure that y'all get all y'all property. I'm gonna make sure that y'all good. So after I feed them, give them extra trays, shower them, everything. We don't got cameras up here, but at the time we did, and we used to have sex. Go in the empty cell, had a bucket full of clean, soaked up water, towel for to wipe up and everything. And we was going in 30 minutes here, 25 minutes here, 45 minutes here. And right before she go home, get her a little quick in so she'll be good until she come back to work the next day.
Man,
so this went on from 2010 to all the way to 2012. And I always kept telling her because I always pulled out.
Yeah.
I always pulled out. I kept telling her every day.
How old is she?
Right now.
No, how was she at the time?
Oh, she was 25, 24. I was 31. Wow. So right now, she's 37 right now.
37. That's 12 years ago.
She's 37 right now, and she had a miscarriage. She said that I was stressing her out because I was being overprotective over. But you the mother of my child.
I'm just saying,
supposed to watch
it's
her.
gonna be different.
And she was being rough with her coworkers, and I was grabbing her coworkers like, man, watch what you doing with her, man. She's pregnant, man. Fool. So she was like, they were like, man, you tripping, man. Take your hands off me. I was grabbing guards with me. You know what I mean? So I was up out of my character, but I didn't want my child to be raised without a father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that scared the shit out of me. I didn't want them to go through what I had to go through, because I didn't know how that mentally was gonna affect them, man. So I was trying to build money to get a lawyer. I was trying to take care of her with her bills, but she went to bleed up at work.
Wow.
You know what I mean? She had a miscarriage. Why was at work? They had to rush her to the hospital. After that, months later, she ended up quitting. She was like, man, I can't do it. Mentally messed her up also, so.
It happens a lot with miscarriages. Sometimes they get so like vested into the man and the baby and the life, and then when the baby don't come up, they just it all falls apart in their brain and they can't. That is crazy. But I would have never thought something like that would have happened. Like, I mean, it makes sense because I know that I know prisons is not like, you know, what it used to be now with technology, and that's the last thing I wanted to get to.
Well, she's a police officer now.
She's a police officer now?
Yeah, she's at HPD. I seen her online. I said, oh, I'm gonna stay. I know she knows that I'm home, but I'm gonna stay away.
Wow.
You never know what the situation is.
Yeah, well,
sure,
cops, how was you said like going to college would have been, you just knew the technology. How was that? Because I feel like in those 28 years you were gone, the world changed 500 million times.
Right.
Like as far as technology.
Right.
You go in, having a computer in your house is wow. No internet.
Exactly.
Cell phones, we got them, but they big old things. They not little flip phones.
Use it with your hand.
Yeah, it was. So how was it feeling technology changing now? Like you said, you were selling cell phones.
Yeah.
Was that just like, oh wow, they got these now? It's a business that I can start here, or
well, we always getting cash apps and we all had cash apps, and that's how we was fluctuating money. Some people had family accounts, so they was sending money to their family.
So they're not just doing commissary, people are cash apping.
No, we getting cash.
Cash apping.
Wow. Cash app, Green Dots. You
Wow.
got Western Union. This is what we was doing. We was making thousands of dollars. So I'm talking about 72 grand. I got a friend that made 72 grand in 2 months.
In prison.
In prison.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen like the little TikTok videos now, little kids.
Absolutely.
They're like, man, these niggas having fun in prison.
Absolutely.
And every time I see it, I be like, I've been to county jail for 6 days, as long as I've been in jail. County jail, I had to wait till a judge got out and he was going on vacation or some mess. I had missed a child support hearing, and they said, oh, you missed the court hearing, so they locked me up, and the judge just happened to be on vacation when I got locked up. So I spent like 5-6 days in county. So the worst I had to do is go to county for 5-6 days, and I stayed busy the whole time I was in there. I worked in the laundry, I worked in the slab, I trades, everything. I passed out everything. I just stayed busy the whole time I was in there. But it was like, it was a feeling of like, what do they call it? Survivor's remorse. Like, I thought about you, like I wrote, that's the song I was looking for. I wrote a song called County Life in there. But I also wrote this one verse to the intro to Blues Out 2. And I asked that question and I said, like, Jay just stabbed these people and he been locked up since he was 15. Like, that shit don't make sense to me. It never made sense to me. That you went in at 15, first offense, and end up coming back when you 43. To me, that shit was just like, I have seen so many injustices since then, but that one still tops. Like, dude, I knew George Floyd. I knew Big Floyd. Like, smoked with him at Jamaica. We did a show. We opened up for Too Short one night, and George Floyd. I remember, and I didn't even know when he died who he was. I heard the name, and then I went to my homeboy Demo. And he said, man, he said, you know George Floyd. I said, I don't know no damn George Floyd. He's from Tennessee. He said, look on your Instagram. Look at Big Floyd. I said, Big Floyd used to be Big Mello? He said, yeah. I said, that's George Floyd? He said, yes.
Yeah.
I say, and even that, it's injustice. I still feel like yours is bigger, bro. Because to me, it's like I say with Cook. Cook did 7 flat, came home doing good. I know he killed me. I know he did. He told me he was. He did it. He did. Paid 7 years flat.
Man, you know, man, the talent that I never did have when I made it to prison, but I ended up having when I did, cause it's a movie I know you probably remember with Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise when Tom Cruise was telling him, man, I want the truth, and Jack Nicholson said you can't handle
Few good men. Few good men.
Yeah, a few good men.
Crazy thing about it, that same album I'm talking about, there's a song on there, and I use that sample, and it's called A Few Good Men. I gotta give you that whole album, like, so you can listen to it.
I actually wrote a poem to that.
To that movie.
I actually wrote a poem to that because a lot of people was like, man, I want to know the truth. You know, you can't handle the truth. I told one guy that I was close with, man, you can't handle the truth. The depths to everything, man. You can't handle it. So I went ahead and wrote a poem about it, and I'm gonna let you hear it too. I actually won $500 about this poem. They had a poem contest about from them in prison, and the people, you can get a certificate for the arts class, $500. It was something else they was offering. I said, man, give me the $500. You know, they sent it to my inmate trust fund.
Yeah.
But I titled it called Taste It All. And what I said is, I prefer a taste or only a sip of what's considered a whole. Too much of any can vibrate on what once had control. Smell the fume, but don't inhale too much. Read through the lines and take heed to the corrupt. Free your mind, but keep the shackles on your wrist. Too much time, prepare your future for an assist. Ask for a job or dream for a career. Opportunity is a bundle to a person that fear no fear. Throw away your useless, and I'll recycle your trash. Concrete and dirt is the foundation of what is mass. Never ask to be first or the same thing twice. Like tricked ice, every shot has a price. Extend your hand, but never a full arm. Keep in mind the filth that lies within the palm. How can you learn when your glass seems to be full? Lesson to learn is the number one rule. Take a sip of the truth and take notice of your face. It's the reason why I prefer just only a taste. I would rather taste all of the truth. A blind mind only comprehend what is seen as proof. Opinions are a mask that holds force. While religious believe, marriage is divorce. Some are quick to judge, but not to direct. Every duality has a domino effect. People were built to lead, but they were born to follow. Try comprehending to a bullet that mind is hollow. Why do we need a scar? To learn the previous mistakes. The mind is a gold mine that's terrible to waste. Taking justice by the head, not believing what is all said. Many witnesses labeled lead, but who would have known what lies ahead? Taking a bite is nothing like swallowing a digestion. Many on trial dodging bullet wounds and decipher question. Picking a jury is nothing like facing a judge. Money and power bringing elbows to rub. What is the truth? Cold case or solution. Lies or chemical that seek the ones of pollution. I breathe for the future like weed people inhale for the phobic. Swallowing the truth, cricket smiles for the moment. I learn from injustice, undertaker in the craft. My friends are so close, keep it in me, do the math.
Man.
Taste it all.
That is right where we should just get in that one, bro, because that explains your now right now, bro. I remember when you called me, you told me you had been writing, and you spit something over the phone, but that right there, bro, that deserves a publishing, like, because it tells your whole story, but it tells how you overcame this thing, bro. Like, you sitting here, bro. You is sitting here now, and bro, it's crazy to just think of. I can't tell you how many times I'll just sit back and say, what are you thinking about right now? What are you going through?
I asked myself, what were you doing? I said, man, I wonder where life took rock at. I said that about you. I said that about Damian Taylor. I said that about Corey.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Corey was...
his brother, Iran.
Iran's still around, man.
I said that about Shannon Sams. I said that about Brandon and Farrell. I said that about Otisha, Star, Pep, Butter, Keisha. Yvette.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said that about all of us. I was like, man, Pookie.
Pookie.
You know what I mean?
I ain't seen Pookie in years, bro.
Yeah, Pookie. I wonder what happened to Pookie.
Man,
You know what I mean? And Larry, R.I.P. to Larry. I heard he got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many. There was Jeff, Tanya. You know what I mean? Just so many.
Tony?
Tony.
Tony Westmoreland?
Yeah, Tony.
Tony passed away, bro.
Yeah.
Overdose. I still talk to Misty and his sisters, man. On Facebook. Misty and sisters. Yeah, sisters.
I would like to see them, man.
They're around. I get the sisters confused.
I want to say Tony got that girl pregnant, Tanya. The redhead white girl, Tanya.
Yeah, they had kids, bro.
Yeah.
He was man. It was at the beginning of this opioid stuff. Like we didn't really know about it, and you know how Tony was. Tony liked to party. Yeah. And he just overdid it, bro. And
I can still do right by his family though.
Man, but like, yeah, I see Misty, and they doing good. They on my Facebook page. You can see them. They look at Misty Allen.
Misty Allen?
Yeah. What is
I'm trying to think of other sister name.
Oh God, Jesus, I can't remember her name right now.
Misty and
she gonna be mad at me. I can't remember her name right now.
Oh, Misty.
Misty and doggone.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, I can't remember her name right now. I saw her last time I saw her was in the club, and she walked up to me. I was with my other wife. She walked up to me. She said, "Oh, Rock, we need to do it. We should have did it when we was younger." I said, "Girl, would you like to meet my fiance?" She's like, "Oh, I didn't know you was with nobody." I say, "If you don't quit." Man, we gonna stop that one right there. Right. But, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Welcome home, bro.
Yeah.
Welcome home, bro. I've been wanting to have this conversation for damn near 30 years, bro.
We still got more to